What's going on in the news cycle? Just kidding. It's been an absolute insane day for me. I don't know if you guys been paying attention, but so much going on in the headlines. We're gonna wait for Rumble to push out that notification, but let me just give you kind of some overview of what I've been working on these last few. I don't know. We'll just say 12 hours. So many stories dropping. Very excited to be here tonight. Welcome to everyone in the Rumble chat. If you're watching on YouTube, hello, hello. If you're watching on X, welcome to the show. A lot happening. We're going to be talking about number one, Sean Diddy Combs is an update on that story in regards to a potential pardon. I've got the details coming your way in just a few moments. Plus, on top of all of that chaos, as many of you know, Tommy Robinson, a friend of mine, friend of probably yours. I mean, everyone loves Tommy, right? Tommy Robinson did get into an altercation in the UK. He was arrested. I'm going to bring you an update on the very latest in regards to that. Plus, normally I wouldn't say this, but Big Balls got himself into a little bit of an altercation when he was trying to defend a female. That's according to Elon Musk. There's new photos that have been released, and it's all because of the crime in Washington, D.C. Now, of course, they're not telling you who the suspects are. You just kind of have to assume. We all know who they are. They just continue to say it was a group of young men beating up on a woman, and then Big Balls from Doge got involved. So I'll bring you the latest on that. Plus, CARE, as many of you guys know, that is the Islamist group. They pretend to fight for, in my opinion, to fight for rights for Muslim Americans. But there's a lot of questionable ties in regards to CARE. So I'm going to give you both my opinion and the very latest because Tom Cotton just sent over a letter to the IRS. And man, it's going to get good. Plus, my girl Amy Meck gets a shout out from CARE today. And that's how you know she's doing incredible work over at the Rare Foundation. I'm also going to be diving into what's happening in Texas because there's a lot going on in Texas, folks. If you have been paying attention, Republicans seem to be threatening the arrest of Democrats looking to not do their jobs. It sounds great. It does sound great. You know, I'm a big fan of arresting Democrats because they are the actual criminals. So I'll bring you the very latest on that battle. Plus, you guys have applied so much pressure in regards to the Epstein files. As many of you guys are aware, we're very upset that we haven't seen anything from this new administration. And well, we're holding their feet to the fire. And so I'm excited that you guys are all joining me today. Ed, hello, hello. He is in both the Rumble and it looks like YouTube. Ed is a multitasker and he is very, very good at that. We'll be putting up your comments as well throughout the show. So if you are on X, if you are on YouTube, that is how we're going to do it. I'm also going to have the Rumble chat going live as well. So we'll just try to keep up with it. Obviously, a lot going on. And we don't have producer Pete here today. It's just me. Okay. That's our live streams. Our live streams really test me and my ability to multitask. And as many of you guys know, not really a good multitasker, but we're getting by. So welcome to everyone in the Rumble chat right now. I see Lurk, Fancy, Tim, Coffee, Ed. Who else we have right now? It's over at the Brianna Morello show page. I'm missing someone. Morphs. Hello, everyone. We're also streaming live over at Dear America as well. I don't think the push notification has gone out quite yet, but folks, we are live and we are ready to go shortly. Yep, doesn't look like the push notification's gone on yet. Rumble is very strange with that. And so I don't want to miss out and start diving into stories of people knowing we're live, but we are live and we're ready to go. Welcome to tonight's live stream. It is a surprise live stream. Thank you, Caesar, for this kind message over on X right now. Let's get that up on the screen. Keep up the great work, Brianna. No, thank you. Thank you, guys. Who else we have? Sorry, it's like I'm reading size 12 font, so bear with me, folks. Kevin, good evening, Kevin, over on X. Tim is also there as well. A lot going on, a lot happening. Push notification just went out for Rumble. That's the good news. So everyone's going to start piling in soon, I'm sure, but a lot happening, a lot going on. So let's kick it off. All right, so I've been playing catch up all day. A lot happening in the news world, as you know. So let me kick off with the first story. All right, you may have seen this. My friend over here, Nick Sorter, just recently posted this, and let's get this up on the screen because this is important. Sean Diddy Combs has now formally requested a pardon from President Donald Trump. That's as per CNN. Take it what you want for that one. Should Trump pardon Diddy? It's gonna be a hell no for me, folks. I don't think you pardon Diddy. I mean, obviously, I don't think he was a sex trafficker. I believe that he was engaging in activity that is obviously very embarrassing. Sexual activity I'm referring to. He obviously also was abusing his ex-girlfriend. and that's not acceptable, but the statute of limitation was up there, and she didn't do anything to get charges filed. So again, I don't know what to say there. I mean, everyone deserves their day in court on that front, but pardoning him would be a very, very bad move. This is an individual. We know he's not a good person. We know he's not a good person. So I think you just leave it alone. There's no reason to get anywhere near this. I believe when President Trump was asked about Diddy, I believe he said that he hasn't really thought about it. So let's just help him. Don't pardon Sean Diddy Combs. It would just not be a good look for this administration. It really wouldn't be. If you're over in the Rumble chat right now, let me know. Drop a comment in right now on the Brianna Morello show page, because I want to know what you guys think. Do you guys think that President Trump should pardon Diddy? Drop it right now in the chat. Let me know. I think it would be a really, really bad move. Like a really, really bad move. Like a really, really bad move. We shouldn't be tied to him at all. We should stay far, far away. If you're in the Dear America show page, welcome to the show, folks. Thank you for being there. I see MG's in the chat, as well as Neil Strat as well. Welcome, welcome. And so is Steven. Sam as well. Let me get that up on the screen so you guys can see. So I'm going to try my very best to flip back and forth from the chats. We have lots of chats going on right now because I'm trying my best to grow on all platforms at this point. We just started a YouTube page recently. I don't know how long it's going to last, but we might as well give it a shot. We are also obviously on Rumble, and as many of you guys know, Graham Allen, great person, allows us to stream on Dear America as well, which is amazing. So if you're in the Dear America family, welcome to the show. If you're in this chat, I'm going to be more on the Brianna Morello show page. Welcome. So just so you know, I dropped the link there so you guys could all jump in with us. All right. So should President Trump consider pardoning Sean Diddy Combs? Drop it right now in the Brianna Morello show page. Let me know what you guys think, because I, for one, don't think we should. I think it's kind of insane, actually, to suggest or even to think about doing that. I think is nuts. I do think it's nuts. Folks, if you're on X as well, drop it in there, because I'm like trying to keep up with it. YouTube as well. Lurk, I see you're over at YouTube as well. You guys have skills. You guys have skills. I am not a good multitasker. Not a good multitasker, but I'll keep trying. Folks, this show is not sponsored by Red Bull, so please don't drink a Red Bull because I'm drinking Red Bull. If they'd like to sponsor the show, they're more than welcome to, though, because I'm not a coffee drinker. Everyone has a coffee brand, and I know everyone's like, oh, you should start selling coffee in your show. I don't drink coffee, so I'm not going to lie to you and tell you I do. I don't. Oh, I'm missing the chat. All right, so some of you guys are dropping in the chat right now. What should we do? Should we pardon Sean Diddy Combs? Ed, no. Ed. Uncle Willie, pardon Diddy so my baby oil stock recovers. I don't know what that means. Thank you, Lurk. Morphs let Diddy rot. I agree. Yeah, I just don't understand what the angle would be for issuing a pardon to Diddy. I mean, I paid attention to his criminal trial. I followed it. I've told you guys, I'm very honest with you guys. I told you guys that I don't think he's guilty of human trafficking, sex trafficking, but I do think that obviously he's a horrible person and assaulted his ex-girlfriend multiple times. And she was definitely in an abusive relationship. But again, I mean, we're all adults. We all make decisions that we regret later on in life. Absolutely. But we can't sit here and say that that was a fair trial, because that's not what he was on trial for. He wasn't on trial for assaulting his ex-girlfriend. It's pretty insane. A lot of you guys are dropping your thoughts in the chat right now. I'm getting them up on the screen so we could drop that up there. But let me know what you guys think. Also, if you haven't done so already, let's multitask. Multitask with me, okay? Head on over right now, independentnewsroom.com, because that's where I need you guys to go. I need you to sign up, independentnewsroom.com. I've created a free newsletter for you all to sign up for. Again, free. I don't spam you. You might get an email once a week at most. It's really not that bad, I promise. I hate getting spam emails, and I'll never do that to you, but it's exclusive stories you won't see anywhere else. As many of you guys know, the so-called journalists in the mainstream media are cowards. They're afraid. They're afraid to talk about the stories that I talk about constantly, and I'm not afraid to talk about them. So you got to head over independentnewsroom.com. We have a free newsletter that you could sign up for right now. And we also have a paid side to it. If you sign up today, I'll be very, very thankful. But most importantly, once this show wraps, I actually personally send out thank you emails to those who become paid subscribers. So head on over independentnewsroom.com. It is the best way to support my work as an independent journalist because you could subscribe, you could be a paid subscriber, or you could donate. And again, if you donate or if you become a paid subscriber today, I will send you a thank you email after the show. It is me. It is not an automated message. It is literally, I go through the list and I make sure to thank everyone individually because I really appreciate it. The donations page, again, really important to this show, really important to my work as an independent journalist because I'm not being funded by any foreign governments. It's not Israel. It's not Ukraine. It's not Russia. The Chinese aren't funding the show. It's literally strictly funded by you guys all at home. So we need everyone's hands on deck so this show could stay independent. And so I'm not a salesman. I'm not going to be sitting here pitching you guys coffee because I don't drink coffee. I do drink Red Bull, but that's not a paid sponsor. So again, independentnewsroom.com, that's where we have it set up. If you want to support my work as an independent journalist, again, can't survive without your support. Independentnewsroom.com. All right, let's go back to the Rumble chat because you guys are still sounding off. If you're in the Dear America chat too, hello. I'm trying to flip back and forth. The main show page tonight, obviously the Brianna Morella show if you're on Rumble, but we love the fact that Graham Allen has allowed us to extend this show over to his platform. And again, we do a show every single Thursday. I have always incredible guests. More incredible guests joining me this week. I'm actually excited because I just confirmed AG Ken Paxton will be joining us on Thursday. And I love Ken Paxton. I'm going to talk about Ken Paxton just a little bit too in the show, but it's going to be a really fun show on Thursday. So make sure you subscribe or just follow the show page on Rumble. Also, if you're on YouTube, hello, YouTube. I never thought I was ever going to do YouTube, but here we are. We are on YouTube now. And we are on YouTube because why not? I've had some issues with Rumble and I'm just like, you know what? Let's just branch out. Now, I'm not going to do the whole censorship thing if I say something and we get nuked, whatever. So just make sure you follow me on Rumble as well. Make sure you follow me on X. Those are the best places to find me. X hasn't censored any of my work, and I'm very, very thankful for that. So that's the main place to go. Stay in touch, too. I mean, maybe one day X might change, Rumble might change. So that's why you got to be signed up for my email list, newsletter, independentnewsroom.com. All right. Folks, got a lot going on today. Elon Musk should buy YouTube. I don't think Google's ever going to sell YouTube. That is their money-making machine. I don't think that's ever going to be up for sale. Ed is great. X is amazing for Brianna. It is amazing for me, Ed. X doesn't censor until they do. Yeah, until they do, boom. And that's the problem, right? Because we all sit here and talk about it all the time, the censorship war. As many of you guys know, like I couldn't talk about the C word. I don't know if you say it on YouTube, they still kind of flag your videos every now and then. I got flagged, I think, the first 2 weeks going up on YouTube. So it's a real thing. So folks, make sure you head over. Let me put it in the chat real quick. Stay in touch with me. That's the best way to do so. Independentnewsroom.com. A lot more going on. So let's keep diving into the stories today because I've been playing catch up. Tom wants to know what the C word is. It rhymes with Ovid. I think if you just say the word on YouTube, I automatically get a strike. The first week or two when I was first up there, we did a whole like FOIA request with Dr. Naomi Wolf. We went through it and I got my first strike like instantly. So I just think that the whole word itself is an issue. And I think it's probably why I can't build a following on it either. But we'll try. Trying is very, very important. All right. I'm glad you guys like that one. Folks, let's head over to the next story. See, I'm doing it. I'm doing it, guys. Next story. I want to talk about Tommy Robinson because as many of you guys know, Tommy is a friend of this show. We've had Tommy on several times, and I love having him on the show because Tommy is a fighter. And I don't mean that literally, but in this sense, I guess so now. Listen, as you see here, right? We see Tommy, there's a man on the floor. There's allegations that this individual was getting in Tommy's face. I don't know if he was assaulted Tommy, but as you can see here, Tommy's pacing back and forth. If you didn't know, Tommy spent several months in solitary confinement. Just recently was released. Tommy is targeted by the British government. I mean, these people are just such toxic, nasty human beings. They want to lock this man up. They want to ruin his life. It is absolutely disgusting what they've done to him. And I'm a big supporter of Tommy Robinson. I think he's not only just a overall badass. I think that Tommy Robinson is an incredible supporter. If you guys didn't know, Tommy Robinson started his career because one of his family members was sexually assaulted by these Pakistani mobs of men who go around sexually assaulting girls. And as a patriot, someone who loves his country, who loves his family, and loves women, he wanted to protect them. And so that's how he got in this fight. And so while people will throw names at him, even though he's never said it, you cannot show me one clip where Tommy says anything that is inappropriate. I've never seen a clip of Tommy saying anything inappropriate in regards to racist, Islamophobic isn't even a word, so let's not even pretend like it is. But they try to go after him all the time, and as you can see, Tommy's pacing around here. I honestly, I think this video kind of looks like he has a little bit of PTSD. But if you were sitting in solitary confinement for months by yourself after being abused by your government and you got out, and someone gets into your face and is going to start a problem with you, I don't know if the person who's on the ground assaulted him, so I can't say that. But what I can tell you is that, hell yeah, you defend yourself. But the government also tortured this man. They tortured Tommy Robinson. And so we're not going to sit here and pretend like this didn't happen. As many of you guys probably heard, he was arrested yesterday, but he's since been released on bail, so he's active on X. I'm not going to ask him to come on the show. I want him to lay low. I want him to fight his battle. I want to see the full footage, right? Because here you're only seeing the aftermath. You're not seeing what actually unfolded here. These lefties are crazy. You and I both know it, guys. We all know. They will get in your face. They will provoke you. They will get very close to assaulting you, spit on you, because they want you to react. Now, whoever this person is, we don't know what he did, again, and I'm just going off of what we're seeing on social media. None of this has been proven as of yet, but that's why the police need to release the full video. We know they have it. I see a camera on the ceiling. I see multiple cameras on the ceiling, actually. One there, in case you guys have seen it, one right here. They have the footage. There's one right there. So I just saw 3 cameras. Look, right here. Oh, 4. 4 cameras. 2 here. No, I think it's 3. And then there's one here in this corner right here. So we've got 3 cameras. So they have the footage. It's really insane. And to sit here and think that this is what you have to endure for standing up for your country, it's the elected officials. Keir Starmer is a piece of human garbage, a beta male, somebody who sits there and has no cojones to go and defend his women, to defend his girls, to surrender his country to people that hate them. It doesn't matter what your feeling is for Islam. I'm not even asking about that. You can't sit here and deny what's gone on in the UK over these last few decades. You can't deny it. There is a direct correlation between the amount of imports that they've taken in from countries that hate them to their sexual assault claims, the cases that have come on. It's just, this is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. And everyone wants you to fear saying these things. But you can't fear it. You have to be fearless. Listen, I've given up on that, right? I was always like, I want people to like me. I want people to like me. And so I'm not going to come out and just flat out. And then I just gave up with it. Because the reality is these people hate you regardless. So you might as well come out and speak the truth. You might as well defend your country. You might as well save your country from what is inevitable if you continue to import people from countries that hate you. You know, I talked about it a little bit today on X in regards to Texas. I am so heartbroken over what's been going on in Texas, folks. Like, I've been coming to Texas for years, and I loved it. Actually, when I got out of college, I thought maybe I was going to go work for the Dallas Mavericks. As many of you guys know, I started off in sports. That didn't work out for me, though. So I just recently moved to Texas. And, like, how insane it's been. The transformation of the Dallas suburbs. I'm talking Irving, Plano, Frisco. It's devastating. These suburbs are beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And, you know, it's a great place. I would have told you it's a great place to raise a family. It's a beautiful Christian community, and it's been ruined. It's been destroyed because we've imported people from countries that hate us. And we're all sitting here wondering, well, how is this possible? When you surrender your country to people that hate you, that don't want to assimilate, that don't want to join in on the American experience, the melting pot, as we always refer to it. It's not compatible. And that's just the reality. That's the reality. I mean, I constantly talk about people walking down the street. Again, today, Indian family walking down. It's 4 of them. They're all spread out across the sidewalks. There's no place for somebody else who's walking the opposite direction to walk on the same sidewalk. And any other level-headed person would have just moved inwards so that somebody else walking down courtesy could share the sidewalk with them. But no, they don't. And it's a constant thing they'll bump into. They have no self-awareness. And it's not just that. That's like that sounds catty. But what I'm referring to here is, we have people who are coming here who just don't want to assimilate. They don't want to understand our language. They don't want to be involved in the American experience. They're just constantly taking over. And there's nothing we can do about it. We're all just told to sit here and allow it to happen, or else you're called a really mean name. I've had enough of it. Dallas is beautiful and it's worth saving. I actually think it's one of the most beautiful places in the entire country. And it breaks my heart that they have taken this beautiful community, Christian community, and have completely eroded it. And it has nothing to do with race itself, because I can tell you there's people from like South America who come here and they contribute. Catholic background, mostly. And again, I'm still going to be releasing my footage very, very soon of a Middle Eastern man coming after me in a stairwell. I've got the videotapes, waiting on the police to give me the rest of it. They know it's coming. They know it's coming. I've got enough to prove my case, obviously, but they know it's coming because we're going to talk about what they don't want you to talk about, the things that they deny. They deny what happened to me. They don't want to talk about it. I literally had a man following me, and I have it on footage, and he's chasing me. I don't even know, because when I turn my head, he stops so that I don't know he's a threat. And then I call the police, tell the police about it, because he chased me into my stairwell and tried running up the stairs after me. And you know what the police told me? Oh, he's just the man who's hitting on you. Well, even after I showed them a letter from the FBI saying that I received multiple death threats, the police want me to think that this is just the man who's hitting on me, as if it's something very naive of me to think that this is a threat. Gentlemen, how many of you have seen a woman that you were attracted to, ran after her in the street, but didn't say anything when you were running after her at like 11 in the morning, and then as you're running after her and she turns, you stop running because you don't want her to know you're chasing her, and then when she goes into a apartment complex, private stairwell of a private property, you quickly rush in the door to squeeze in and then try chasing her up the stairs. I don't think many of you at home have ever done that to a woman, because it's not hitting on a woman at that point, right? You're a threat at that point. And that's what's going on here in places like Frisco, places like Irving, places like Plano. That's how you got your wife, huh? She's a keeper. Listen, don't do that to the wrong woman. I'm the wrong woman. And this is Texas, so you don't want to do that here. But folks, I'll report the full story. I'm just waiting for Plano Police to give in. If they try not to, they're going to get sued. And then I'll release what I have already, because I've already got the footage. I just kind of wanted to be able to give you a very detailed vision of what happened to me, because I figured there's going to be people out there like, that didn't happen to you. No, it did. Here's the proof. Police report, body cam footage, and 2 different surveillance video cameras. This is what they captured. Rob, I met my wife at a Halloween party. Did you chase her, Rob? Did you chase after her? Yeah. Yeah, Rennell. Women chase after me. Yeah, I've chased a couple of men in my life. Not. You guys are funny. Yeah, don't chase me into a stairwell. It's not going to go over well for you. It's never going to. And some Middle Eastern man learned that the hard way. Poor man. He ended up running out for his life. We'll talk about that later. But a lot going on in the world today. A lot going on in the world today. I want to keep diving into this. Lurk. My last wife assaulted me. I saved 1,000 on attorney fees. I just married her. Yeah, it happens. Maybe that's why I'm still single. Just gotta go with assault a man, chase him down. All right, let me start pulling up some more stuff because I wanted to actually talk to you about what just happened today. I've got it coming up. Let's see. A lot of tabs open for me. Well, because, oh, this is so cool. My friend Amy Mack just won. She just hit the lottery today. We're going to talk about that in a second. But let's put this up first on the screen. Because I don't know if Tom Cotton's trying to win us over. But this is definitely working. Sorry, guys. Allergies. Gia's behind me today, by the way. Gia's behind me, and she was just rolling in dirt outside, thankfully. So now she's literally next to me, and the stench is pretty incredible. TMI. All right, guys, let's talk about this because Senator Tom Cotton, this takes cojones because when you go against CARE, it is a machine. It is a machine. So they go by, they claim to be America's largest Muslim civil rights organization. They claim to be protecting the rights of Muslims in America. That's what they claim. But Tom Cotton hits it over the park when he makes these allegations. I've asked the IRS to investigate their nonprofit status. This status is a privilege and not a right. Well, why is he doing that? Because he's alleging that there's a lot of evidence out there that he says shows that CARE has deep ties to terrorist organizations. Now, CARE is the group that has gone after people like Laura Loomer for her reporting on them. And take a look at this. They pinned this tweet. So shout out to Amy Mack. Because Amy Mack is such a badass that CARE, which Tom Cotton says may have some terrorist ties. I'm not saying that. But Senator Tom Cotton is. And Senator Tom Cotton is making these allegations. And then they're going after Amy Mack, an incredible independent journalist who has dedicated her life to going after the invasion that is going on right now in our country, in Europe, the danger that's happening right now regarding Islam. And today we've released, they're accusing Governor Greg Abbott's, and she's not an anti-Muslim campaigner. That's foolish. She is an incredible independent journalist, and her name is Amy Mack. If you don't follow her, you're really missing out. I'll put her page up on the screen in just a second. But Amy Mack, and they're really upset because they've been going after Epic. Epic is, if you haven't paid attention, is the East Plano Islamic Center. Now here you see, look, oh, it's so many smiling faces. They're trying, it's diverse. It's not. I've gone to the public hearing. There was a public hearing just a couple of months ago in regards to Epic and its developments. And they actually hire white attorneys, white PR people. They have a lot of money behind them. And they're doing a great job at putting up a front. Like, this is a diverse group of people who really love this country and just want to create a little area where they could practice their religious beliefs. There's several people out there accusing the same group, though, of guess what? Practicing Sharia law. Again, those are accusations. I'm sorry that I'm like drinking in your ears. Those are accusations. But there's people out there who say they have proof that they're going to be laying it out soon. So we'll see. But again, they're going after people who are exposing Epic and all the nonsense that's going on with it. We have these little Muslim compounds popping up all over the state of Texas, and it's actually pretty disgraceful that we've allowed it in the first place. It really is. I'm going to pull up Amy Mack's page so you guys can jump in and make sure you follow her, because I'm telling you folks, Amy Mack, an incredible independent journalist. And she does this not because she's paid by any foreign governments. No. No one's paying her. Besides you, if you donate to her page, the Rare Foundation. It's here up on her screen, on her X. Let me just copy and paste this instead of in the chat. But she's doing an incredible job. I mean, the deep dives that she does, she spends hours and hours and hours of her day diving into all of this. Let me give her a little retweet. But she's doing incredible work. So make sure you give her a follow. I mean, she just did a report also on a very sketchy Texas politician. So give her a follow. I'm gonna drop it in the chat right now so you guys all have access to her page because I'm telling you, this is the one person. Everyone steals Amy Meck's content, and I see it all the time. And you guys think you're like, for those of you who are stealing her work, you think that you're low. You think that no one sees it. I see it all the time. Thank you. Um, but yeah, they think that they're low. They think that, no one's catching on to what they're doing. But we all know what they're doing. They're stealing Amy Meck's work. Thank you, Something Wicked, for putting that up in the chat. They're stealing Amy Meck's work all the time because she's so incredible what she does, but she does it for free. She does it for donations. So again, follow Amy Meck on X. I think I put it in both chats right now. Yep, it's in both chats. So give her a follow. It's worth the follow. I promise you that much. Very few people out there who are putting up a good fight. So we appreciate it when they do. Folks, if you're on X, welcome to the show. Sharia law in America, never going to happen. We're not going to let it happen. We're going to make sure it doesn't happen. Let's dive into more topics. All right. And again, producer Pete not here. You guys have me, so that's why we're flipping back and forth. Try my best to keep up with all of this. Did you guys see what this? Here, put up on the screen. Nick Sorter's on top of it though, but take a look at this. So the guy who we all know, the Doge employee, former Doge employee, I believe he's actually working for somebody else now, another agency if I'm not mistaken. But his nickname, Big Balls. Apparently, he was walking around the DC area and saved a woman who was being assaulted by a group of males. Now, Elon Musk said males. He didn't say what race they were. But apparently, they were assaulting a woman in DC in her car. When Big Balls stepped in, they went after him. I mean, look at this poor kid, man. Multiple teens surrounded the woman's car, attempted to carjack her, and Big Balls stepped in and saved her. Man, this kid is his parents must be so proud of him. They must be so freaking proud of him. DC is a mess. I was just there a couple of weeks ago, and it's an absolute mess. And it's really sad because I was just simply walking to get my nails done in DC. And I mean, the amount of homeless people just walking around, deranged, in need of therapy, in need of something. Thank you, The Thirst. I appreciate this comment right here. My empathy is for these people because society, Democrats have completely given up on them and just allowed them to live in the streets. They need help. There should be no option. They need help. They need help. And the fact that we don't give them the help that they deserve, I think is inhumane in itself. But a bunch of them, they're walking around. I mean, I'm walking just to get my nails done. There was 2 homeless people. Sadly, there was a woman who looked like she has had some serious drug struggles over the years, walking around, mumbling, carrying a bunch of stuff with her. She's just walking up and down the street. And then there's another man that comes by and he makes me feel very uncomfortable. So I quickly just pop into a store and wait for him to pass and I come back out. Then a couple of months ago when I was in DC again, I had dinner with a friend. I walk out by myself and there's a homeless man. And he comes right up to me. And it's the nighttime, so I get scared instantly. And the worst part is he can't carry. No, I don't think it's a homeless person. I think that this was a group of teens, ghetto, gross children who have no values to society who beat up Big Balls. And Elon Musk's just saying that they were males, but you could probably assume how this even happened in the first place. It's just sad. It really is sad. DC's become an absolute cesspool. And it's a beautiful city. It's a beautiful city. I would go and visit more often if it wasn't just so dangerous. By the way, I was checking in my hotel and probably won't go there anymore. But the individual who was checking me into my hotel was like a trans male who was a biological female, and my heart broke for her because I just was looking at her pretending to be a man, and I'm just like, no one stopped this. Nobody even cared to stop her to save her. It was actually really sad. You could just tell she was pumped up on all those hormones. I have empathy for those people. I do. All right, let's talk about Texas. I'll talk about Texas because we're pushing back in Texas. We are pushing back in Texas. Texas Democrats are obviously a bunch of little weasels. They constantly even run their fellow Democrats as Republicans on tickets. And they've been able to conquer a lot in the state of Texas. Texas is being taken over. Don't let anyone downplay it. Texas is in a lot of trouble. But finally, we're seeing Greg Abbott finally step up to the plate. He has woken up. I don't know if it's the public pressure. I don't know if it's the strength of MAGA, and he doesn't want people knowing how weak he has been. So he'd rather take a fake little victory lap. But he's threatening to go after Democrats and pull them from their seats, which again is great. So Democrats are trying to avoid the whole redistricting, redrawing of the maps, congressional maps. And so what they've done is they've fled to states to avoid having to vote on any of this, to have debate, to do any of this, because they're cowards, right? They've done this in other states. We've seen it in Illinois. We've seen it in New York. I followed New York. I covered New York when they were doing this. And now, because Texas is starting to do it, they want to make it seem like, oh my gosh, how are they doing this? How are they? This is so un-American. This is an attack on our democracy. You know that nonsense that they always tell you, it's an attack on our democracy. You're an attack on our democracy, you scumbags. They've completely destroyed this country, and they're looking to just continue it. But here in Texas, what they're trying to do is they don't want the maps redrawn because they're going to lose 5 seats. As they should. Because here's why. Because Democrats in other states, like let's just say California, for an example, love to count non-US citizens in their census. And so they've been able to capture more congressional seats because of it. So finally, we've acknowledged this. We're aware it's happening. And we're actually doing something about it. I'm on board. So Ken Paxton, obviously a fighter, one of the very few authentic fighters, and he'll be joining me on Thursday. But we don't have authentic fighters. We don't have people out there who actually go out there and believe what they say. Ken Paxton doesn't take the temperature of a room before he goes out there and says what he believes or do what he believes is right. And that's a difference, right? Because we sit here, we watch it all the time. I watch it all the time. These politicians, they wait. They wait till it's safe before they come out and do something. That's not Ken. So Ken plans to seek a court order stating that Democrats who fled and missed the speaker's deadline have forfeited their positions. Again, if they don't want to show up, I think the deadline's on Friday. They don't want to show up on Friday for work. Cool. Get rid of their seats. Because you're not representing the people. You're not. And lock them up. I want to also, because Senator John Cornyn, I think is one of the biggest losers in the universe, actually. I actually think he's just a horrible person. And I mean that. Because Cornyn sat there, and I don't know if you guys saw the video. I've posted it over and over and over again. And the reason why I keep posting this video is Senator John Cornyn sat there during Pam Bondi's confirmation hearing and had the cojones to say that FISA has never been used on American citizens. And that was it. Because here's why. The person who nominated Pam Bondi to be sitting in that chair had FISA used against him. I'm talking about President Donald Trump, okay? So let's cut the nonsense out, John Cornyn. Let's stop protecting your deep state buddies who have been trying to destroy this country for quite some time. And let's do what we should be doing, right? Be honest, be fair. He literally had to go home to say that. So it was game over for me, but here he is now trying to make it seem like he's not a rhino. And so he sent a letter to FBI Director Kash Patel. Senator John Cornyn has requested that the FBI Director Kash Patel assist Texas authorities in locating and apprehending Democrat lawmakers who left the state to prevent a vote on redistricting legislation. Okay, first off, do I think Democrats should be arrested? Yes, I do. Do I think the FBI needs to be doing it? Absolutely not. The FBI should be chasing down pedophiles, going after people for corruption, government officials for corruption. And I'm sure, like, if they're just chasing down pedophiles, they'll probably catch a few Dems anyway. But do I think we need to be writing letters to the FBI asking them to get involved? No. 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 It's the politicization of the FBI again. And I wouldn't do that. But John Cornyn knows that. He just kind of wants to see if they'll do it or say he did it, right? Because then it makes him look like he's not a rhino. He's not a piece of garbage. But he is. He is. He's been absolutely useless to the people of Texas. Absolutely useless. And I'm not going to sit here and pretend like he's a good person. In my heart, I don't think he's a good person. And that's just my opinion. So I look forward to Ken Paxton replacing him because he needs to go. We're over him. And I'm not going to sit here and allow him to pretend like he's a fighter. Let's get the Rumble chat back up on the screen. Folks, if you're in the Rumble chat right now, the Brianna Morello show page is where you're going to want to be at. Also, make sure you head on over. If you haven't done so already, I'm going to drop in the chat yet again because, folks, I keep telling you, if you haven't done so already, the independentnewsroom.com. It's how you support this show. It's the direct way to support us. It is my most important platform, I would say, because I'm probably going to get canceled one day. And so you might as well give me a follow. You might as well sign up for my email list so that I have this private email list where if I ever get canceled, you guys will be able to communicate with me directly. I find out the latest, whatever platform I sign up. But also, I have a ton of exclusive stories. So head on over, independentnewsroom.com. Do that right now. Because you will forget. But what's going on in the chats? Let's see. Let's go back to the Brianna Morello show page. That is where it's at. Ed, we need a great replacement for Paxton, though. Yeah. Aaron Reed seems to be doing pretty good. We had him on the show. We'll see, though. We'll see how the landscape kind of comes together. $17.75. Thank you for your service. We greatly appreciate it. Tack. Dibs on being attacked by Brianna. I don't think you want to be attacked by me. It's not. That's what the last guy thought. It didn't go over so well for him. I can't wait for you guys to see the video so you guys can understand. Because I can't give you specific details, but I can tell you. It didn't go so well for the last guy. He ran. And you're probably wondering why he ran. So I'll just let you kind of marinate in that as to why a man who was trying to attack me ran for his life at the end. Oh, man, but thank you. Thanks, Tack. Oh, man. Boom. If you don't get canceled, are you really doing your job, Brianna? Yes, I know. That's what I tell everyone. Wes, evening from Alabama. Shout out to Alabama. You guys are going to have an incredible governor when Tommy Tuberville wins. That's going to be a good one. I'm excited for that one. I'm really excited. I actually might be heading out to a campaign event too. I'll keep you posted on that though. But again, a lot happening and I'm excited. Alabama's a great state. All right, folks, if you are in the Rumble chat, what is going on tonight? It was kind of a crazy day, news day. I'm going to dive into the Epstein stuff in just a little bit because, again, I mean, it's so overwhelming. Sorry, I'm trying to multitask. This isn't very good for me. See, I can't read and also dive into all of this. Okay, so let's talk about Epstein. Let's talk about Epstein because a lot going on there. Oh, Brian wants a smile from Gia. Gia's right behind me. Hold on. Gia, you got to make your debut, girl. Come here. So Gia. Sorry, she's taking a nap. Gia. Uh-oh, she's not happy. Uh-oh. Are you not happy? They just woke you up? Hold on. We got this. Oh my gosh, 1775. Yes. It was so funny seeing that Trump on the roof today. Okay, so this is Gia. Oh, Giuseppe's getting jealous. He just walked in. So Gia was just taking a nap, so she just was rudely awoken. But she'd like to talk about Epstein, wouldn't you, Gia? Oh, you're not taking off my makeup. Gia. Okay. So this is little Gia. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about, yeah, thank you guys. She's my little angel. She's crazy as heck. She was rolling in dirt today, so thankfully you could just see her. You don't have to smell her. Bruce asked, "Did the man run because I had Gia?" No, Gia wasn't on the walk. It was just Giuseppe, but that was probably not the reason why. He actually was using my dogs as an excuse to chase after me and was pretending like they were the excuse. As many of you guys know, these dogs are my life. Giuseppe, you want to come here? I know you want to. He came to the door, stared at me, and then looked away. She wants belly rubs. Okay, so listen, if you're in the chat right now, I'm trying to get everyone's comments on the screen as much as I can. As much as I can. Yeah, Giuseppe is very jealous. He's sitting in the corner right now watching, but he won't come over here. So many great dogs, but mine are the best. I'm a little biased though, folks. Okay, so let's go over this. So get ready to pull this up. So obviously a lot going on with the Epstein stuff today. All right, so it's kind of cool, right? Because we're finally seeing that there's some movement. Because we've all been screaming about how unhappy we were that there wasn't any movement originally, but now we're seeing some movement. So we'll give credit where credit's due, of course. But the reality of it is like this is a good move, right? Because Republicans hear from you guys all on X. I mean, trust me, it's the reason why so many people call me because they're not happy with my tweets that I post. It's insane, but X has a lot of power in DC. And so when you complain that you're not happy about something with this administration, thankfully, and I'm very thankful for this, that they actually listen. They do. And that's what's really important about this administration. They listen. Okay. So the House Oversight Committee is subpoenaing both Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton. They're also making sure that these individuals are compelled to appear, except for one that you would suspect. Bill Barr on the list, which I thought was kind of crazy. Jeff Sessions, Eric Holder, evil man, evil man. More evil men, too, on the list. Obviously, James Comey, Loretta Lynch, Robert Mueller. All just evil. So we'll see. I want this to be televised. I don't want this to be behind the, whatever they call it. They call it closed door meetings or testimony. I'm like, no, let's see it. Let's freaking see it. The American people need to see what's going on in our country right now. We need to know what's going on in our country right now. And speaking of that, I see that, the Deputy Attorney General, Todd Blanche, is considering releasing his audio recordings when he met with Ghislaine Maxwell. As many of you guys know, last month he met with her twice, 2 days in prison, and they've since moved her. So she's now been relocated. She's actually in Texas. She went from Florida to Texas. And I think it's interesting, right? Because obviously, like, what's going on here? But, we need transparency. So I say release the recordings, but I don't know if they're going to release all of it. I also think it's interesting because of her appeals process that she has going on right now. Before we dive into that story, I want to highlight the fact that she is going through the appeals process and she's having her case appealed to the Supreme Court. So she thinks that she has immunity because when Jeffrey Epstein struck his first plea deal in Florida, she claims that also included her, even though her name wasn't listed. And so she doesn't think that she should have been prosecuted by the DOJ in the first place because she thinks that she was shielded. Yeah, Captain, I want FBI to raid the Clintons' house and it to be aired on InfoWars. Wouldn't that be a dream? I'd actually love to do the live shot and be outside that house. I would love it. I would love it. Folks, we're getting all of your posts up on the screen as much as we can, keeping up with everything. But folks, a lot going on here. Let's dive into this. So again, Ghislaine Maxwell, and I know that the DOJ has asked the courts to release the jury transcripts and to release the transcripts regarding her case as well. But we just heard today that Ghislaine Maxwell's attorneys are pushing back and they actually don't want that stuff released. So they don't want the transcripts released because they say that it's going to affect her appeal. Which it could. It might. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm assuming that the Supreme Court has access to that, and we probably should hear back from the Supreme Court soon on that. I believe it's the fall we're going to hear back on Ghislaine Maxwell's case, so we'll see. I don't know if she has immunity, but I would assume that the DOJ, before even entertaining possibly pardoning her, would tell her to take up this appeal first and see what the Supreme Court says. How do I feel about it? I mean, if she gives up big names, I don't mind her being freed, honestly, because she's never going to be able to live a peaceful life. She's always gonna be looking over her shoulder. People are always gonna be after her. No one's ever gonna like her. People are always gonna hate her. They're always gonna know what she did and who she is. And she'll have to live with that for the rest of her life. And I don't think it's gonna be a very kind life for her. And if you could exchange Ghislaine Maxwell, but then take down dozens of pedophiles, I'm on board. I'm on board. I want people who have hurt children off the streets because they're probably still doing it. So that's my long game in all of this. That's my take on it. I know people got very frustrated, very angry. I don't know why you guys get so angry. Whenever there's a hot take, people get really upset before they even listen to your rationale. And I always just think it's so funny. Folks, I would free Ghislaine Maxwell, support freeing Ghislaine Maxwell if it meant that a bunch of other pedophiles were locked up and thrown in prison. That's my take. Let me know what you guys think. Let's pop up the Rumble chat right now. Would you support President Trump pardoning Ghislaine Maxwell? It's a hot take. That Brianna, get your gun. I arm my daughter. Yeah. Don't you worry. I got that man to run, and there's a reason. Can't say it though, for legal reasons. Folks, we are on the Brianna Morello show page right now, so make sure you guys are there. A lot going on. I also want to dive into this MSNBC article because it's so stupid. It is so stupid. So we all just need to have a moment and just laugh. We need to laugh. I'm trying to keep up with X as well. I'm doing that right now as we speak. But MSNBC, a load of garbage, this so-called media outlet is. I mean, look at the crock of you-know-what that they're pushing right now. Here, let me pull it up on the screen. Posted it today. This is the article. Now, I don't want you guys going to it because they don't deserve the clicks, but MSNBC is complaining because they're saying that the FBI is tossing out disproportionately women and people of color. Oh, you mean the Indian FBI director is a racist? Huh. Who would have known? I mean, these people are just so played out. FBI leaders to force senior bureau officials out of their jobs has disproportionately hit women and people of color, according to public records and an unofficial tally by current and former FBI officials. Oh, so what you mean is people of color, women who were given positions that they didn't earn, but they got them because they were minorities, because they were women, were given these positions because they met their DEI requirements, because that was the priority of the last regime, right? We know that. We all know that. It's not for debate. Now they're going to call it out and try to make it seem like the Indian FBI director, right? He's Hindu, that he is somehow in some way a racist. I know a lot of you guys also think Dan Bongino, the deputy director, is black. He's not. He's Sicilian. I saw someone say that too. I was like, no. He's not. He's not. My dad gets it all the time because he's Sicilian too. But folks, it's insane to me because it's oh, here's another one. FBI leaders last week forced to resign The resignation of a decorated FBI agent who apparently is a Pakistani American in counterintelligence. Sorry, counterterrorism. I'll get it together eventually. Here's the thing, right? So all these people were given promotions. They didn't earn them. They were given them because they wanted to meet statistics, numbers, and stuff, and all this other nonsense. And that's what they were pushing at the FBI. So we had a whole bunch of unqualified people who were going around destroying our country. This Pakistani American who they're probably talking about, female too, she likely probably was using those numbers trying to go after law-abiding Americans who just disagreed with her political views. And that's probably why she earned her promotion, probably continued to, and this is just the assumption, right? It's just, it's laughable, to say the least. It's laughable. And I think it's so insane to me that we're going to sit here and pretend like these women earn these positions that they were given. No, they were given it because they needed to meet a certain statistic. Oh, bombshell just dropped. I haven't even read it yet, but we're pulling it up. Uh-oh. Ditching the story. I just got a good one. I haven't even read it yet, but we're going to pull it up right now, folks. Jill Savage just sent this over. Let's pull it up. Oh, man. Dun, 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 dun. Hold on. I got to do this quick. I got to go reach out to... I've been asking Speaker Mike Johnson's office. Okay, so let me put it up on the screen so you guys aren't totally out of the loop. So the Blaze just dropped a story right now. I just retweeted it on X. Take a look. We've been waiting for this one to drop. We have been waiting because Corey Mills, there's something very wrong with this guy, Corey Mills. We've heard a lot of rumors about Corey Mills and how he has how he's been very questionable, right? We know that there was a individual high up in the Muslim Brotherhood who married him off to his Iraqi wife. Hold on one second, guys. I'm going to reach out to Speaker Mike Johnson's office for the fifth time. For the fifth time in regards to Corey Mills. Hold on one second. All right, so I repeatedly reach out to Speaker Johnson's office about this. There's a lot of questionable things about him, especially because he's on the Arms Committee and he's also on the Foreign Affairs Committee. So a lot strikes me as uneasy with this man. Okay, so an American beauty queen has now accused Republican Representative Corey Mills of Florida of threatening to send sex videos to anyone she tried to date after she broke up with him earlier this year. Now, this woman is putting her money where her mouth is. She's actually gone to police. I know that for a fact. They both wanted to keep their relationship a secret when they began dating shortly after meeting in 2021. Lindsay Langston. Everyone I know actually says that she's a really nice woman. Let's see. I believe we have her picture somewhere. Because I was asking around about this. Let me get it on the screen. Okay, so that's her. Beautiful, beautiful woman. One of many of Corey Mills' girlfriends, I hear. Real scumbag. But yeah, she was 20-something years old when she met him. She was busy with pageant work, growing influence in Florida politics, it looks like. And she's now accusing Corey Mills of blackmail. And they were apparently dating for a while. So I just retweeted this. I just shared this. Let's see. Between the two residencies, Mills obligated to pay. I'll go with this later. It's pretty insane, though, folks. I just can't believe how we still have him sitting right now in Congress. Take a look at that story. It's right now. I just retweeted it. And this is like the thing, right? Because we need to be fair and balanced. And I think it's really important for us to be fair and balanced. And if Corey Mills is doing wrong, yeah, we have an obligation to tell you, the people. We do, in fact, have an obligation to tell you, the people. And so I'm all on board for this. Corey Mills, complete scumbag. No surprise there, folks. No surprise there at all. And he's not happy that Jill over at the place has been going after him. But the reality of it is he's a freaking liar. And it's not just, I don't do the whole Me Too movement stuff. That's not for me. But the fact that he sat here and is telling you that he's a Christian while having a high up official over the Muslim Brotherhood marry him off to his Muslim wife, who I think they might have said converted to Christianity. I don't know. I don't know. You don't just land, though, in a situation where an individual is officiating your wedding who is a high up individual in the Muslim Brotherhood. You don't just do that. You don't just drive through Syria with no issue like Corey Mills has, allegedly. So obviously there's a lot of questionable things about his finances, but he did have a private arms company before. So again, there's a lot wrong with this guy. Call it out. Call it out. We need to hold our side accountable and their side as well. And to be blunt, if you're working with a bunch of jihadists, you're not on our side. So those are just some of the allegations Corey Mills is facing. And I know he continues to sit there and bully people and send threats through text messages. And it's really strange to put it in writing. I don't know why you'd put those things in writing. It sounds like anyone who's an intelligent human being probably wouldn't put a threat in writing, but he has, and we've seen several of these things. So Corey Mills, not the smartest person in the world, but you voted him in Florida, so now you got to vote him out. Oh man, a lot going on. Let's go in the Rumble chat real quick and see what's going on. We're about to wrap up tonight's live stream, mainly because I want to dive into this Blaze art. I have to like sit down and read it. I mean, how many of you have not only chased women into stairwells of private buildings, but how many of you guys have had like somebody of the Muslim Brotherhood marry you off? Happens to all of us, right? It's a quick slip up. Oh, who would have known? Who would have known? Oh man, Fox News just broke a story. Let's get to this. Democrat Senator Adam Schiff is under criminal investigation for mortgage fraud, according to Fox News. Schiff is accused of falsifying bank records to receive more favorable loan terms. That's according to Fox. Schiffy, off to prison you go. I can't wait. Lock them all up. You know, they are the biggest scumbags, right? They were all like, no one's above the law. Yeah, and you little pricks, we're out here doing the worst. The worst. Pencil neck goes to prison. That's what needs to happen. You need to have a fair trial. And then if convicted, you need to go to prison. It's been long awaited. They had no problem locking President Trump up, his allies, his friends, his attorneys. F them. Lock them up, throw them in prison, never see them again. They're scum. They're scum. They're scum. These people are real criminals. We've sat here, we've watched, we've allowed them to just do whatever they want to do. Folks, the main chat, just so you know, I know you guys are dropping stuff in the Dear America chat, and I'm so thankful for that. But we're over at the Brianna Morello show page. Let me just make sure I drop that in there so you guys follow, because I am trying my best to flip back and forth, and I don't want to seem neglectful. Okay, so they all belong in prison. They all belong in prison. I'm so done with this. I'm so done with this. They sat here and locked people up. I mean, we talked about Jeff Clark last week on the show. Jeff Clark, friend of mine, obviously, but somebody who literally had his home raided for nothing, because he decided that while he was working at the DOJ to offer President Trump legal advice and to flag potential allegations regarding the elections. And so they went after him. They're trying to get his DC bar license pulled. They don't want him practicing law anymore. And not for anything that he actually did, but because they want to intimidate people from coming forward and standing up for these people. And so these people are all part of the swamp. Arrest them all. It's not lawfare. It's called getting even with these people. They have tried to destroy this man, this president, obviously, as many of you guys know, all of his allies, bankrupt his allies so that they have to turn against President Trump. Jeff Clark didn't turn, though. I know he's dipped into his life savings to save himself. But folks, these people, these are the real criminals. And there's just no other way to see it. And so it's just so enraging that we continue to have to put up with this and tolerate this. But screw them. Throw them in prison. Throw them in prison. Folks, if you haven't done so already, I don't know what you're waiting for. You got to head on over independentnewsroom.com. Let me put it again on your screen. If you guys like exclusives, that's where they come first. And then again, if you guys, Data, I see that you are in the Dear America chat. I'm trying to flip back and forth. But our main chat is here. The Brianna Morello Show. And that is the Independent Newsroom. Folks, when this show wraps, we're going to wrap soon. I'm going to go pop over and thank everyone who has personally either donated over at independentnewsroom.com, or if you have become a paid subscriber, I'm going to be sending you a thank you email, personal thank you email. So make sure you get that in right before the show concludes. Independentnewsroom.com. I thank you all for your support. Of course, this show not funded by any corrupt countries, corporations. No. A lot of you guys I know like to say, is Israel funding Brianna? And Israel is not funding Brianna, but you could fund Brianna. Head over independentnewsroom.com. I'll send you a personal thank you email for helping me out. Let's see. I'm so excited to jump into this article. Oh, man. Court is so much dropping. I mean, how do you, I'm trying to, keep up with the feed and try to keep you guys updated. Oh, and then a Florida GOP committee woman, Lindsay. Oh, that's it. You say woman. She's also filed a restraining order. Corey Mills. What a loser. What a loser that Corey Mills guy is. All right, guys. So head on over independentnewsroom.com. Sign up. I thank you all for joining me on this live stream. It has been very impressive. It has been very fun. I will be back 7 p.m. Eastern time Thursday. We'll do the whole regular show. And then Saturday mornings, you know where you can find me. InfoWars. You know, we do the great news show. Good morning, InfoWars. 10 a.m. Eastern time. So make sure you're there as well. Mark it on your calendar. 7 p.m. You're spending that with me on Thursdays, of course, here on Rumble and on X and on YouTube, occasionally YouTube. And then make sure you mark it on your calendar. Saturdays, 10 a.m. Eastern time. We are all in when it comes to Good Morning InfoWars. Make sure you do that. Thank you all for being in the Rumble chat tonight. I will start going over our news subscriptions. So if you sign up over at independentnewsroom.com, there's still time. Do that now. I will send you a thank you email tonight. Again, everyone, I appreciate you guys joining me. It's always fun catching up with all of you guys in the chat as always. And I'll talk with you soon. Have a great rest of your evening.